To me, sociology is the best way I can think of for understanding the world. That's what a university is supposed to do. We want you to get a good job and everything like that, but a university's primary function is to create informed, aware people who are, citizens of their community and the world, who have an awareness of what's all around them. And I can't think of anything that does that better than sociology.
Well, I guess I would say that sociology is a perspective that recognizes that all of our decisions, our actions, and our behaviors are influenced by our environment. That we are products of the groups that surround us. And that means that life is a little bit more complex than we had originally thought. And sociology embraces that complexity. We don't live in a world where you can just have smart, wise men make decisions for us. We need data, we need information, and you need the scientific method, and sociology also provides those tools.
It just seems so much easier to study a physical object. It doesn't care that you're measuring it. But then I became fascinated with trying to measure humans. How do you measure what exists only in somebody's head? How do you measure that? And it's this great puzzle. So measuring people's thoughts and attitudes fascinates me.
I would say it's a very exciting time to be studying sociology because the internet has totally revolutionized our society and what's available to sociologists to study. Right? So a lot of our social lives now exists online that wasn't available to anyone beforehand. Or you had to go out and do a survey and it was very laborious. And now it's all on many things are online. And that means that there's a whole world out there to study that wasn't available to us previously. And so it's very exciting to be studying sociology for that reason.
Well, now we can search very quickly, for the library website and find, just many articles that are relevant for our topic at a moment's notice. And obviously, we also can get on the internet and we can sort of type in a term and we come back with many different things.
It makes sociology more. It increases the need for sociology. Good sociology should be able to adapt and understand how quickly society changes. And that's part of the reason sociology even exists, is because society now changes at a much faster clip than it ever did before. The sensation that people have is what we call anomie, when they're having trouble understanding how norms and attitudes are changing. And it's much more common with older people, the phenomenon of kids these days, right? That speed and discontinuity of social change is something that I hope sociology reacts to well, and I think it does. And we are a science that has to be nimble. We have to be light on our feet. That's why I'm constantly changing my notes all the time. We have to update our textbooks, regularly and keep up with everything around us.
Sociology, the way I like to think about the linkage between sociology and positive change is to first think about how sociology is very effective at analyzing and critiquing the social arrangements as they are. So it's very quick, people sometimes are very quick to jump to social changes without thinking about how things actually are to begin with. So sociology really offers the tools to be able to critically analyze society, find problems in society, problems with arrangements in society, and then from there I think of sociology as a discipline that opens up pathways for change. Sociology is not a discipline, in my view, that dictates what changes need to occur. Rather, it opens up multiple changes that then open multiple pathways for change that allow us then to engage with people in the everyday world and give them options, of how we might rearrange society to make it better.
I've been working in the community different downtown neighborhoods in Evansville and in Henderson for about the last 10 years directly. Because my area of specialization is measuring humans. So basically, we have a lot of deteriorated neighborhoods in the downtown area. And I would go in and I talk to people. I see what's working in the neighborhood, what's not working. So it's a direct measurement issue. And then basically, when we understand it from their perspective, then I'm able to bring that to people who actually have the resources that can make physical differences in those neighborhoods and really kind of impact those areas. You know, I've worked with over 50 student interns and research assistants on these community projects, so they get a lot of firsthand experience.
I would say the more understanding that people have of sociology, they can understand the changes that are occurring a little bit more and look in depth as to why the changes are occurring. Because sometimes I think people just think, oh, why would this change occur? Whatever, we're just gonna go with the flow. But if you have a sociological background, you can kind of see, okay, these things have happened, so now I can see why this change is occurring.
But when we create people that have greater awareness, then it just sort of happens organically. We create, hopefully, we create people who are not fooled by the latest thing they hear. Because there's so much information out there in the world now. I don't know if there's any more truth, but there's a lot more information. And it's very easy for us to get caught in our bubbles. And you know, we have things like confirmation bias. We hear things that already agree with our pre-existing opinion and that reinforce that opinion. If you're trained in sociology, you don't have to be that way. You don't have to believe the latest thing you've heard from left-wing or right-wing news sources or whatever it is. We do social science. We don't do just opinion journalism. And so you hopefully people will interrogate, they will question the methodology of some sort of survey that they see quoted on TV. They will question opinions they hear from political leaders. And they will do it not as a knee-jerk, I don't believe in politicians. They will do it as in, let's find out, if there's any validity to this opinion through actual research. People have, everybody's an amateur sociologist. Everybody's got their opinions as, I'll tell you what's wrong with America kind of thing, right? But we have actual data, we have actual studies, we have actual surveys, we have actual experiments in the real world, and we can have some greater confidence in understanding what is going on. And I think that when we create people that have that ability, then we almost inevitably create positive social change.
Well, like I said, I think that sociologists can gain a perspective, and we can help students gain a perspective where you can become reflexive and think about what we tend to take for granted. That's just the way things are. If they're actually, we can change things and make a difference and give you that distance to be able to do some analysis. I just think that's useful for anything, and if we want to improve the community, we have to be able to have that perspective where we can see what's wrong and what needs to be changed rather than believing everything is right.
Sociology at USI, specifically, we have a lot of breadth in our department. Even though we don't have a lot, maybe we don't have the largest faculty, the faculty that we have study lots of different things and lots of different areas. And so you're going to get a certain breadth in your education that is unique. A lot of times, you go to departments and they're all studying the same things. And at the USI Sociology, we're all studying different aspects of society, and that really makes a difference so that you won't be hearing the same things again and again.
There may have been a time in years past where USI might not have been thought of as a top flight school, or might have been dismissed. And if that ever was true, it's certainly not true anymore. I think if you are a student coming to USI, that you are going to get an excellent education because we emphasize the importance of teaching. And we have people here that are great researchers and great in their field, but almost I would say everybody here cares about teaching, and they want to do well in terms of teaching. There are some universities where you will have famous professors who might actually think of teaching as something of a bother. Send their TAs to do some lecturing. Leave me alone. I've got research grants to apply for, right? Here, we do our research and it's expected, but we're expected and we appreciate, I think, good teaching. And to tell you the truth, it is the most rewarding part of my job, going into the classroom and lecturing. I actually look forward to it every day. I come to work with a smile on my face because I get to talk sociology every day. And so when you have professors that care about teaching, that enjoy teaching, you as a student will just be that much better off.